Okay. Well, my computer's being a pill right now. We'll just pray that it keeps running. So it is. Don't go away. It's 6:34. We have a quorum, calling the meeting to order. We have present in the room, Ryan Maida from Friends of LA River. I've got to change this. We have Steve Hartman. From California Native Plant Society, Narit Katz. Kathy Schreiner, NCSA. Huh? Narit is LA Audubon. Shelley Backlar from RCD. You have myself from San Fernando Valley Audubon. We have Marianne Davis. Yeah. From Sierra Club San Fernando Valley. Paula?
Yes, correct.
For REC, Paula is here. Glenn Bailey has just arrived.
Want to the chair right here? There's no place to.
Yeah. In the back, we have Kira and Ricardo. Hi. We have Ricardo from CD6, and on Zoom, we have Muriel Coton from San Fernando Valley Audubon. We have Larry Frank from the mayor's office. Rosie Avatisian from CD6. Barbara Heidemann from San Fernando Valley Audubon. Hannah Wayland from the Army Corps of Engineers. We have Joshua from Rec and Parks. Lionel Morris attending, and Narit shows up there as well. So, thank you, Richard. Yes, in attendance. Okay. The minutes of the prior meeting have been sent out. I'll make a motion for approval.
Second.
Second, do we have discussion?
Seconds?
Yeah,
Who's second?
Kathy. Okay, hearing no discussion. Oh, and Terry is here. So Terry is our regular rep for Sierra Club of San Fernando Valley. So well, sneak in here. Okay, do we have any objection to approval of the minutes here? And seeing none, they're approved. Okay, we have public comment on non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction. Do we have any comments? Lionel?
Yes, thank you, Miss Patricia Bates. Lionel Maris, CD6 resident, from the Valley, longtime resident. Here speaking for myself as an individual. Good to see my good friend Glenn Bailey there as well. Everyone here from Sierra Club and Audubon Society from CD6. Rosie, good to see my city family here, and the commissioner, Miss Katz. It's great to be here with my family. I'd like for my public comment, I'd like to share with you that I live in the East San Fernando Valley, And I just want to share with you that, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Mayor Karen Bass shared a declaration of emergency regarding the warehouse fire in Boyle Heights. And the email notification that I received, the East San Fernando Valley, as well as other parts of the city, are being impacted by the smoke, hazardous smoke of the warehouse fire. And I'm sharing this because it has impacted parts of the San Fernando Valley, and the council file 260609, I believe, is the council file. 260 hold on. I'm sorry, reverse. 2609060 2609006. And I'm just sharing because due to heat wave has been exacerbated, and they issued an alert extending the heat wave till Thursday. So it's impacting our community, and I just want to share that with you. I'm sorry if that took longer than I thought, but I want to be sure that my neighbors and other public officials are aware of this. Um, oh, one last thing before I forget. I recently went on a bike group ride a couple weekends ago, and I noticed that parts of the bike path along in Sepulveda Basin, Lake Balboa, within your jurisdiction matter um need to be repaired, because some of the bike path, the sidewalk, pedestrian are uplifted due to the tree roots, and it creates safety concern for pedestrians as well as for bicyclists. Because I bike there occasionally, and some parts of it is just awful and needs maintenance. Um, and also, I would like to thank the city because during my group bike ride, excuse me, Madam Chair, they're removing the dry brush, because there's a lot of dry brush, so I think they're clearing it out. So I just sharing it for your awareness. Thank you for your time, and it's great to be back.
Thank you. Any public commenting here on non-agenda? Okay, seeing none. We are moving right along to a report from the Office of the Mayor, Larry Frank. You are on, Larry.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see everybody again. I just do a quick report. You have, I believe, you're going to have Battalion Commander or Chief Robert Barnett. He can speak to Crew 4's work and some other work he's doing in the basin. I see Rosie there, so she can actually speak most effectively to the interim housing and how impact that is going to have, we hope, on the basin. And she can also speak, I think, to the work of graffiti busters that are doing some of the yeah, vegetation management to medians, etc. So I don't need to speak to that. I can speak to the additional work that's being done by the LA River Rangers that have the contract with the LA Conservation Corps, are continuing to operate deeper and more effectively in Zone 11 between Jelty Park and the Havenhurst area. And so it's where they're in 4 days a week. And LEFD is there about 1 day a week, maybe a little bit more. And the couple things that might be of interest. We are still operating on Dan Cooper's nesting bird study. We might want to get Dan out there again to see if there's anything new that we should be looking out for. And we also, are hopefully going to do the full announcement. Is there anybody there from Assemblymember Jesse Gabriel's office or Senator Henry Stern's office at this point?
There is not.
There's not. So I don't want to, so they get credit for this, but it's $22 million that's coming to the Sepulveda Basin. We pretty much have it sort of figured out with them what's going to go where. So there's the mobility across Victory that's going to be about $6-7 million. There's the observation deck repairs in the Sepulveda Basin wildlife area. There's going to be some lighting of some soccer fields. I know those lighting issues are important in terms of shielding it from there being too much light as it affects birds at night. So that's going to be something you want to keep an eye on. But we'll continue to kind of operate closely with San Fernando Valley Audubon and others from the Wildlife Area Steering Committee. And then we're going to be doing, we believe, some work up in the Bull Creek area once the nesting bird period is over in September, maybe as early as August. And we will do that also in coordination and at least bring back some of the DG pathways. And then we are working on, so Chrysalis, I think, is going to do a presentation later. Is that right? Is Veronica going to be there? Maybe not.
Um, I don't think Veronica is just landing in New York.
Yes, she
And
is.
I don't believe, what she did do is send us a draft, letter of recommendation for their grant proposal that we
Yeah.
can take back to our organizations. There's no way we can get it through this body at this late date. But
Yeah.
for example, I will be taking the letter back to, our San Fernando Valley Audubon to see if we can't get a letter of recommendation in for their program.
Okay, I think that might be for their Prop 4 funding because they already received $100,000 from LA 28 to do work in the basin as well
Correct. It is for the Prop 4 funding with CAL FIRE.
with CAL FIRE. Yeah, and then is somebody else? I think Joshua could probably best speak to the LA City Charter reform that's changed the minimum funding formula for rec and parks. Josh, do you want to speak to that later? Or I could if you don't.
Well, I think we're all real excited about it.
Yeah, it's definitely a step in the right direction. It's going to take a vote, so it's going to be on the November ballot. So we have to actually get a little bit of work done to get people to understand. It's not an additional tax that's coming. It's what it is a larger share of the tax funding that comes to the city of Los Angeles. So the formula has been, I think it's 0.0325% of all uh, um, uh, of all the tax on all property tax assessed value of property taxes in the city, and it's now being raised to 0.0485%. It's not as far as the advocates wanted to get to, which was 0.065, but it's definitely it's probably another $150 million or so that will go to the base budget. And then on top of that, I believe Rec and Parks is able to,
Can I
uh,
interrupt you?
yes,
There was a last minute amendment by Monica Rodriguez, which passed city council with only one no, which was from CD3. It is raising it to the 6.5.
it is. That's right. I did
0.0.
read that. Yep.
And it's over 10 years.
And it's spread out over 10 years instead of spreading out
It's
over
spread
4
over
years.
10 years, and the paperwork at the city clerk's office hasn't caught up with it yet. What they're showing still is the 0.04 whatever. So
485.
this is a real win.
It is a
And-
real win. So it gets at, I think, um, the plan for Rec and Parks that comes, in terms of what it needs to actually be
Yes.
successful as a department. So that is really great news.
Larry, on that, do you or does anyone know if this will be a standalone vote on that issue, or it could be bundled with other items? Last time we had charter reform, it was one vote, all or nothing. And I'm hearing that there may be some split outs.
There will be some split outs. I can't guarantee that this will be the split out just because I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but I know there will be more than one, maybe more than two, maybe more than three separate votes on the charter reform.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, thank you. All right.
And then LAFD is, they could speak to, I believe that issue is going to be on the ballot in November as well. in terms of additional funding for the fire department.
Right, and that's a separate initiative, I believe.
Yeah, that's something they gathered signatures for. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions for Larry? And thank you very much for being with us.
Yeah, but thank you for having the most up-to-date information. Yeah.
I have one more for Larry. So the lighting for soccer fields you mentioned, which soccer field location?
So that would be there's I think 12 soccer fields just south of the LA River on the west side of Balboa Boulevard. And there's a parking lot to the south, so there'll be a lighted soccer lights for the parking, so it can be used at night. It's actually sort of a something that actually is helping in terms of heat because people will be able to play at night with the lights there. It'll have a new uh, um, uh, it'll have a soccer field that has what's the technology that uses the watering based on the existing water of the it'll have a high-tech watering system that will be much better for the field. There'll also be at least one premier field, which will include bleachers, it'll include some fencing, it'll include, and then it will have the lighting as well. And there may be a second field, which is being contemplated by Jesse Gabriel's office, which would be an additional $2 million that would come out of this year's state budget Prop 4 funding.
So in addition to the environmental concerns, has anyone been in communication with the Encino Village residents who live immediately west?
I think that's a really good idea. It's not going to, yeah. So that is something that is probably has not been done. So that'll have a conversation I'll have with Ross Zellen, who's been doing a lot of the work leading this effort from Henry Stern's office. And we should actually do that work. There will be some improvements to the entrances, and there will be some shade structures as well as part of the premier field. Yeah. I see Lionel's hand.
Our internet is unstable here.
Need my hotspot.
Well, it's still working.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Frank. Oh, do I
Okay,
speak now?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you, Mr. Frank, for your report. Just not a really a question, but more a comment. I just want everybody and you a public service, happy public service day for your public service. And I'm glad that the city council voted to double the allocation or something like that for parks, for recs and parks, because many neighborhoods are disproportionately impacted with the lack of access to parks. Because as Marquise Harris Dawson said, it's about accessibility. And not all neighborhoods have accessibility to parks, and I do think parks provide an important benefit to all communities, especially for our health. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your comment.
all righty. Rosie, I think you're up.
Yes, thank you. Well, firstly, thank you for all of the updates. I'll speak more about the interim housing, as Larry mentioned, just because I do have some information about that. And then I know that that there is questions and updates in regards to the Sepulveda Basin website. I unfortunately couldn't be there in person, but Ricardo from our office, he's been doing a lot of work pertaining to the Sepulveda Basin website, and he's actually going to present a slide deck of kind of like a rough draft of what we have so far, and then that way we can also get updates and any suggestions from you all of what's missing, of what can be improved and added, and so forth. So I just wanted to preface with that as well. Ricardo's also doing a lot of work in regards to the vision plan and just further research about the basin in terms of jurisdiction. So we'll have more updates as that all unfolds. But in regards to the interim housing and how that correlates to the Sepulveda Basin, so what we've been discussing, excuse me, in recent meetings is kind of like our strategy with the vegetation management and housing in the basin. And right now, what we've done is condense the unhoused population into a few different zones, and those zones are 3, 4, and 6. Right, we're trying to ensure that the other zones that have already been managed through the vegetation stay um, you, well, they don't repopulate. Um, so our interim housing site is set to open mid-July. We're actually confirming the date of when it's set to open, so it should be at some point mid-July. Once that happens, then we already have the by name list ready through LASA of all of the folks in the basin that are interested in going indoors. So then we can start those operations of placing folks indoors. So fingers crossed, but around mid-July, or yeah, mid-July, end of July, we'll start seeing some movement in the basin in terms of a lower population. Um, so some good news there. Once I do have everything concrete in terms of when it's going to start and certain operation dates, I will let you all know. But that is the most up-to-date information that I have so far. And then just to speak about the medians along the Sepulveda Basin, our crews are working on it. They're currently on Burbank Boulevard. They're almost up to Havenhurst, so they've been doing a really good job with those medians. And I know Wrecking Parks throughout the last 2 weeks also cleared the sidewalks on their side, so it's looking better. But Balboa will be next, and what I'm working on is just trying to get a quote also from Street Services to see if they could possibly um, just fulfill the median maintenance on a more I guess like quarterly basis, just because they have the equipment and they can do it a lot faster as opposed to the graffiti busters that we have in our district, since they've been working on it for over a month now. And I mean, we're making headway, but it could definitely be faster and a lot more efficient. So I'm looking into the different alternatives. But those are all of my updates. Like I said, I'm not sure when the appropriate time would be, but Ricardo will talk a little bit more about the website and where we're at with that.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. Do we have any questions?
Rosie, just to confirm that the interim housing is the former Motel 6 on Roscoe, is that what we're?
No, I'm sorry. Let me clarify. So that one that you're referring to, that one is in CD12. I'm not sure when theirs is set to open. But the one that I'm referring to are the Sun Valley tiny homes in our district, in Council District 6.
Okay, so we did have a conversation in previous meetings, I guess 2 months ago, about the issue where we were trying to house folks here to the other tiny homes at the Orange Line at Reseda and had challenges. Anyway, has that been worked out yet, or
No, because ours, the Sun Valley ones are the ones that are going to open the soonest. So we're going to try to place as many individuals as we can into that one, especially because we have jurisdiction over those tiny homes, as opposed to the one in CD12, which is the Haskell and Roscoe, and the one in CD2, which is more in the Van Nuys area, are not in our district. So we would have to coordinate with those council offices. Not to say that they're not part of the effort. They are. They're willing to house folks, but all I'm saying is that it's easier to do it when they're in our district and we have control over the site.
I understand I'm not sure what the right word is, politics, logistical, whatever. But you know, when you look at the CD12 location directly north and much closer than going to Sun Valley for the folks that are in the basin, and people tend to like to stay local, but anyways, you guys gotta do what you have to do. But, my understanding is that that facility was also opening up in July. Has it been delayed, do you know?
I don't have an update. I do have a meeting coming up with the homeless directors for the other council districts, and that meeting is next week. So, what I can do is if you'd like to send me an email, I can respond to that email after that meeting and let you know what they say.
Okay, just kind of seems that they're both opening up at about the same time. You fill up yours to the extent you can, they fill up theirs to the extent that they can, and then there should be hopefully a pretty prompt decision about whether additional folks from Sepulveda Basin can be accommodated.
Yes. Yeah, I mean the goal is the same, right? It's to house as many individuals as we can, whether the site is in CD12 or CD6. The goal is that they go indoors. So whichever opens the quickest and wherever we can accommodate folks, that's exactly what we're going to do. I just I guess I mention all of that just to emphasize that it is a multi-council district effort, and we're trying to house as many folks as we can with all of the housing that's going to be available.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosie.
Can you hear me?
Your voice is coming from a little far away, but yes, I can.
So in past meetings, I thought perhaps our unhoused folks were gonna be housed through the inside safe operation. Has that been?
Well, so this is a different strategy that we're using. Yes, but I do want to emphasize, although it's a different strategy, we're still working with LASA, we're still working with the mayor's office, so it is a multi-departmental strategy.
Okay, thank you so much for that clarification.
Yes.
Okay,
Glad to go.
thank you, Rosie.
Thank you.
Ricardo, do you have a presentation or?
I have some details on the website, the draft.
Hmm?
I have a draft of the website.
Okay,
Would there be a way to connect this projector or something, or?
can you log on to the Zoom meeting?
Yeah, I'll get my,
If you log on to the Zoom meeting,
I think you can connect with the last button.
you know, I'm afraid that if too many people hook up, maybe you can hook up to Glenn's hotspot. Where'd Glenn go?
also have a print operators just for everyone to view.
Okay, great.
I think for the people online, if you wanna, I'm on my own, but if you wanna, stick it on
Here.
the flash drive, I can share.
Okay, I don't know what the password is for this, so.
It's on the back.
Oh, here.
Sorry.
Here you go.
Excuse me.
There, you can use this one.
Is it Franklin 210?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we've got a slight delay. Joshua, do you have any updates while we're getting Ricky hooked up?
Hello. Actually, I do have an update on the signage. I see it's on the agenda.
It is, because I was there today and there's a remarkable absence of signage.
Yeah, I apologize for the delays. I do currently have the signage in my office. I have no fishing signs, dog signs, and early this month we ordered the signs for the feeding the coyotes. I haven't
Good.
received those signs yet, but I have all the other signs. I've been in contact with the construction supervisor, Kevin Grimm. He's actually scheduled to install this week. So if he doesn't install the poles this week, I'll follow up with him on Thursday. If they're not in by Thursday, I'll follow up with him. And then hopefully we can move forward.
Okay.
But I do have the signage. Everything except the coyote signs came in because those were only ordered early this month.
Great.
Thank you. I did talk to James Sippets also, and he said it would happen today, tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, even though it was
awesome.
supposed to happen earlier, but yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, I've been in contact with Kevin, so hopefully this week. And if they are installed, if he installs the poles, I'll provide an update.
It's great. Thank you.
Yeah,
No problem.
that's great. And Joshua, any other updates?
No other updates at this time.
Okay, wonderful. Is Ricardo on? Are you logged on to the Zoom?
Something,
Huh?
do something.
Um. Yeah, let me know. Okay, we can move on to Hannah. Hannah?
Yes, hi everyone.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great.
I don't have too much to update on. I know everyone has been very patient with us on the Sepulveda and Hansen master plan. I do apologize for the delay. It has just not been getting out of Office of Counsel, and our legal team has still been reviewing it. There's been some technical difficulties and delays with that. So we have received the Hansen Dam EA. We are working on comments from Office of Counsel. So hopefully we can get that out or get that back to them relatively soon. And then Sepulveda Dam, we have not received comments yet from Office of Counsel. We're still waiting for that. So I will update everybody as soon as I can, as soon as we have a better schedule. I don't want to keep telling you that it might be in July, it might be in August, because I don't know at this point. The priorities have shifted a little bit. Our missions have been shifting with the current administration, and unfortunately the master plan is just not a priority. So we are doing everything that we can to get this out as quickly as possible, but I do appreciate everyone's patience while we work on this. And again, I will keep you guys all updated as soon as the drafts are ready for public comment.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, I don't believe, Veronica from Chrysalis was going to try to pop on to the meeting, but she was flying to the East Coast, due to arrive about now, so I don't think that's gonna happen. I did send their potential letter of recommendation out to all the representatives. You can take it back to your organization. For example, I'll be taking it to our conservation committee at San Fernando Valley Audubon, and we will be issuing a letter of recommendation, most likely for their grant proposal, which is it's one of the Prop 4 CAL FIRE grant for some of the work they're doing, which is, I think it's mostly their work is in the area along Encino Creek. Okay, are we hooked up yet?
Hey, Glenn, you're up.
Is it the Wi-Fi or
The Wi-Fi.
do you have?
I think that will work.
The computers have already won.
They've won the battle.
Oh, yeah. Can't do anything without them anymore. Can't even have a meeting.
Yeah, if I didn't have to haul all this crap, it'd be really nice.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Very nice about that.
Yeah. Glenn, do you have any updates while we're continuing to churn through everything here?
Well, I wasn't there, but I understand some of you were at Encino Fest, so anyone wants to chime in on it, thank you for participating. I guess there'll be an annual event going forward. So I don't know the time frame because it's really tight doing it again of the fiscal year within
Yeah.
a day or two, as far as that, but, what else? There is a meeting tomorrow. It's virtual via Zoom
Okay,
for those that have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Or want to do public comment on something that you want to bring to the attention.
Okay.
Ready?
No, my flash drive wouldn't get into this computer.
So I'm on the web.
Can I jump in? I cannot hear Glenn. He needs to be closer to a microphone.
Muriel, have you got your hand up?
Yes, I cannot hear Glenn.
You
Can you
cannot hear
not-
Glenn? He's not speaking
Right.
right now.
He's we're trying to get somebody hooked up so we can have a presentation.
I understand, but I cannot hear him in general. He needs to be closer to a microphone.
Okay.
The joys of hybrid meetings, thank you for your patience.
No one was on that song.
Hey, you know, I don't plant plants, so I don't have to water, and I don't get all the technology because,
Just the website.
yeah, but see, that's very retro, you know? Programming in HTML, that's right in my wheelhouse. You can relate there.
Okay.
Signal fest. And see, together, one word, Wildlife Fest. It was held on May
Shelley, do you want to say a few words while we're
30.
lurching along here?
Sorry, May 30.
Also, Resource Conservation District of the Santa Monica Mountains is actually working on 3 different CAL FIRE grants now. One of them is wildfire education, and that will focus on defensible space, home hardening, HSE evaluations that we post for free. I had remembered a conversation at a previous meeting here about removing Mexican fan palms. And so that was something that I was looking into, sent me some information about the location on the Orange Line.
Right.
So I'm looking at ownership right now to see whether we can find some funding to get some contractors out there to start removing them. And, you know, perhaps that's something that we can talk about, a long-term maintenance opportunity. If it doesn't get on our grant this time, we're looking at some other research grants and another one that is a block grant with several California RCPs from the Central Coast to look at a regional wildfire strategy. And we are looking at continuing to go to the Ventura RCD's prescribed burn activities to learn little bit more so that we can bring that education to the basin. More than likely focus on the educational aspect of it. The MRCA is doing prescribed burns, so we wouldn't necessarily do that, but looking at how fire is being used to prevent spread of the gold spotted borer beetle.
Oh.
Those are things that we're working on right now.
Oh, interesting.
Do you know how well it's penetrated? How many have done? Well, what's your goal? Yes. So I have done. Oh, good. Yeah, so what is he saying? We're working on work strategy to go to the community centers that are in high fire risk or spirit fire risk along the river of the valley. But we're also working with an organization called Community Connection.
Ryan from
East LA. We started work there and in Washington, and there have been no assessments in that area, so it's been very positive. Our outreach will be more focused, or, you know, some of the hundreds and other, I don't even see neighborhoods and likely, homeowners associations and fire-wise. What's your partners for, you know, like a landscape community size, so that we can prevent.
Max?
or conflagration.
We're probably gonna do.
I just wanted to say that.
Oh, R, okay.
Just make him a co-host.
I understand.
Assessments are awesome. You guys haven't had one done on your own home, I totally recommend it. Lots of stuff that I never even thought of. I couldn't problematic. And so I have a lengthy to-do list, but I did not have before. And I'm slowly thinking my way through it, but it's really a superb experience with lots of knowledge transfer. So do it. Yeah, and who is that for?
Okay, Ricardo, I think you're on. You can be a co-host.
Yeah. Yes.
Here we go.
So this is just the first draft of our.
Okay.
Ricardo is muted.
Ricardo, you may need to sit closer
He-
now. Yeah, up to near the.
Okay, I just asked him to unmute. Just why don't you stand here and talk? That would work.
So this is just the first draft of the website that we talked to with the RAP department programmer.
Uh-huh.
So it's very hard to see here, but I'll pass out some slides for everybody.
Okay.
But we got some inspiration from other websites, from like Central Park, other ones in California. And this is just a rough draft for the layout. So whatever you guys have for any public comments, I'll make sure to bring them up to my managers and to the developer so we can put that in as well.
Uh-huh. So should we communicate through you with comments
Whatever
on
you guys
this?
have with comments, I'll write them down. I'll pass them up whether through email.
Okay, and can you send me a link to your slide deck?
Yes, I'll send
If you would send me a link to the slide deck, what I will do is share it with everyone and we can all look and comment.
Also, if he shares it now, it's gonna be on recording of this meeting, as long as you Rich said which screen.
Yeah.
How many web pages are there?
It's just one web page. It's just one big one. There's about 7 pages of this for the slide.
So it's all one, doesn't have separate web pages?
There are a few other ones, but this is like all the stuff that will be on the main pages. You scroll down, it'll be going through it. Let me see if I can share this with that.
It seems like it's mainly meant to have one main page with a link as a portal to other pages like ours and Lake Balboa and stuff.
Yes,
Okay.
all the community groups are at the bottom. You will see the community groups. Let me see if I can share this with Pat actually.
Okay.
I shared it with you on Gmail, so you can also
On what?
on Gmail. I sent it to you, so you can.
Okay.
There you go.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll make sure that gets into the chat. I'm going to. Yeah, I will send it out tomorrow. I'll email it out so everyone can look. But yeah, thank you. We're very excited. The progress is happening on this. So we're very happy.
It's a very rough initial draft, just with the so and it's not going to represent the so whatever comments we have, I'll bring them.
Okay. And here we go.
Did you put your email into chat?
I put it open in chat.
You sign in chat.
Yeah. Okay. Paula, would you like to?
My presentation was be verbal. Thank you so much for the.
Just if you want to come up a little bit closer then the people, yeah, there you go.
Okay, great. So again, my name is Paola Flores Nunez, founder and director of Referee Educate CODAP. We've been a presence at the Basin for a little bit over a year now, and the role that we've taken has been much like Friends of Los Angeles River and the California Native Plant Society, where we have been providing maintenance to the space. We weed, plant, and water. And yeah, we've also served as coordinator or liaison between the three organizations, specifically in January when we had our large habitat restoration day. We planted over 100 native plants on the west side by Haskell Creek. And to this day, we continue to maintenance and weed around that planting. And very thankful for the continuous learning. Every single day we learn something new about the space or about the volunteer activities that we do. And in our time being at the Basin, have noticed a few gaps that exist in the way that we operate as volunteer organizations. And so in wanting to close those gaps, REC has taken it upon ourselves to start creating a strategic plan for volunteer activities at the Basin, which is very, very exciting. I feel like before historically, the volunteer activities have taken place as more based on immediate needs of the space, right? So what is the season? Where can we get the volunteers to have the most impact? And that's been wonderful. I do think it is time to create a long-term plan for the Basin overall. And so again, we're working on creating and coordinating alongside FOLAR and CNPS a strategic plan for the Basin that is going to look at monthly goals, seasonal goals, and yearly goals. I'm really excited about that because I feel like it's going to help provide more direction for all of the three organizations that work with volunteers in the Basin. And it's going to help us be more strategic overall with volunteers, which is exciting because now we can really get the biggest bang for our buck and get the most impact out of the volunteers that come to work in the space. At the same time that we are creating a strategic plan for the year and the years to come, we want to create databases that have scientific information about the work that we're doing at the Sepulveda Basin. We want to collect qualitative and quantitative data that demonstrates the positive impact that we're having on the environment at the Sepulveda Basin. And because this is something that, obviously is going to take a lot of people, REC is not the only organization that's going to be at the front line of this, also CNPS, FOLAR, and we want to be more intentional with the volunteers that come out to help us in this space. Hopefully in the near future, far future, we want to have and provide community members with different classes or even in the future, a type of certificate program that we're thinking about that is going to help to provide the education around what we're doing, but also the aspect of the field work. So ultimately, like I mentioned in January, the goal for REC is to be at the Sepulveda Basin and serve as a bridge where we provide environmental education and also a space where people can develop their skills through field work, which is really exciting because not only are we connecting communities, sharing knowledge, but also having them build their skill set while helping us to build our database, while helping us to reach our goals from our strategic plan. And so again, it's all really exciting stuff. I feel that with these next steps or in creating these plans, we're really going to help to elevate the work that and represent the positive impact that we're having at the Sepulveda Basin. But with that said, as we continue to work collectively, we do need a space where we can share our resources and our tools. So those are things like all of the gardening tools that we need, our knives, our shovels, hula hose, hoses, water pumps, and all that stuff that we need for maintenance. We do need a space to store these items. So a few meetings ago, we did get in contact with Joshua, and unfortunately, we aren't able to store supplies at the facility that exists for Rec and Parks. And so I'm wondering if I want to put it out there, but if it's not the space to talk about it, maybe I can be directed to somebody, but I'd love to know what a tangible solution is for our organizations to have a storage facility on site so that we can share our resources and our tools. And I'd love to know what it looks like for the steering committee to finance the storage facility. And again, just reiterating, I'm biased, but the importance of our work, you know, for our CNPS and REC, we are at the forefront of the restoration happening at the basin. We are building healthy soil. We're planting and tending to native flora, which then helps bring insects, which then brings the birds, which brings the people. And we all get to enjoy the space. So I hope that you all support us in our future endeavors of creating this strategic plan, these databases, and also getting storage for a storage facility for our organizations. Yes, thank you.
Questions?
Yes. One question. When you approached the Park and Rec, if you had your own storage shed, like bought one at Home Depot,
Yeah.
would they allow you to put that somewhere near the amphitheater as your tool? Have you ever asked them if that might be a possibility?
And if Josh is still on, he can let me know, but I think he mentioned if we did something like that, then we would have to change our right of entry permit, which I would be honest, I don't know too much about. But if that's an option, I'd love to know if we could do that, and again, follow up with if the steering committee could help us to finance a storage space. Yes, then yeah.
Couple comments on the strategic plan.
Yeah.
I'm not that, I mean, I understand it's trying to coordinate the work of the three groups. But you're doing that work on land that's owned by the Army Corps of Engineers, leased by Recreation Parks. So my question is, are they included with this effort as well? As far as your development land, because you're coming up with a plan that's being done on their land. So just like the master plan, Army Corps, you know, gets input from the city, got input, will get input, and of course with us, et cetera. But anyway, that's one question. And then on the storage issue, so, you know, at the amphitheater, that building has been used for the education program, but it's an actual building and it's been broken into several times, and anything of value is at risk for being stolen. And my sense of anything like a portable anything, I mean, if you have a real building and it gets broken into, it seems to be anything that's any less than that, so my best suggestion, and even then it's not perfect, because is to try to see if you can work something with the Recreation and Parks, you know, Valley Region headquarters. But even then, they've gotten broken into,
Right,
and stolen from there. So, you know, it's a risk you run, anyone runs, even they run. You know, just given where we're at and the value of whatever's there that people might want to steal.
Have you considered, like, there's a lot of storage facilities around there?
You need to have something on site.
You need it on
You gotta
site.
wheel your big hoses and your pumps. If you wanna water the stuff, you need to have pumps and hoses. And the hoses have to be a couple hundred feet to get to where the water is, and they weigh a lot. So you need a wagon, you need hoses, you need pumps.
I have a dumb question. Have you considered like the steel or the expanding hoses? I know they have limited lifespans, but for example, at the fire station, I have 125 feet of hose I can pick up with one hand. And it expands, and it's like you're not doing anything with high pressure coming through these pumps that would blow them out. And at home, I have 100-foot steel hose that I can also pick up with one hand. So I'm wondering, you know, if you were.
There's still.
I
think the request is valid. I
Yeah.
think finding a place is an issue.
Yeah. Well, look, I think we all need to work on it. And I hope that Audubon and definitely Rec and Parks, I mean, everyone needs to be read in on whatever the plan is.
Well, I think the strategic plan for volunteers for weeding
Yeah.
is a pretty secondary kind of a consideration that it's not going to affect what's going on in the general issue, except there'd be less weeds. And I don't know why you need to have approval to have less weeds.
Oh, I'm all for less weeds.
I
Believe
didn't
me.
say approval, and I assumed that the plan would include more than just pulling out basic weeds. But I could be, if that's the case, then, yeah.
Well, you know, I guess there's a long-term planting idea, but that really all depends on having the availability for watering.
Well, you know, the challenges we went through when we had our proposal to do planning, so, you know, I mean, unless things have changed, you know.
Well, the thing is that the plan that the original was done is on a major scale, it's been from but it is not.
Okay, I believe so.
Yes.
As a courtesy to the lands, the lessee and the owner.
Yeah.
You know, if it's planting, it's improvement,
I
right?
think it would be presented at this meeting here, and if we presented it at this meeting, this is advisory to the city, we have
It is.
advisory to the Army Corps of Engineers, and that probably would be sufficient.
And they're all advised now. And it's, by the way, it's looking great. I was over in the new area that was done west of Haskell Creek today. There are at least 3 leaf-spell Sbwasc nests directly adjacent to it. And they're all, I mean, the place is crawling with them right now. On the west side of Haskell Creek, just past the first footbridge. So it really looks good. And the weeded area on the east side looks fabulous right now. Yeah. As long, Steve, as long as you're here, do you know anything about the technical advisory committee to reevaluate herbicide use?
No, Phil Neal
Is he still on?
I don't see him anymore.
Yeah.
He would know about that. I haven't been.
I will touch base with him again. So moving through here, we've already addressed the signs, and I will, the minute they're up, I will take pictures and share them. Next month, we're supposed, the folks at LA 28 have promised they'd be here next month. And also, I think Forward Alliance, I think by the meeting in July, we'll have a little more clarity on grants that are in the offing. Status of Haskell Creek, the Haskell Creek is clogged, and hopefully the Bell Sbwasc need to shove off before it can be unclogged. So that's old business. And then we're up to reports from member voting organizations. So
I'll start.
Good.
One of the things is that I also work on the original Sepulveda Basin Wildlife.org webpage. And I spent a couple months away, and I used that time to go through every single page and clear out all the bad links. So now if you use the webpage, there should be no bad links. And if there are, report them to me and I will fix them post haste. That thing you sent to me, I sent you an email back saying I didn't understand where it was. So
I'll have to find out, because I don't know where it came from. It was from someone else.
So that's a good thing. Hang on a second here, I got notes here. So we've been weeding on a regular basis there. And, you know, it's now that the rains have stopped, it's just pulling weeds. And not just pulling weeds, there's some a new idea of trampling weeds around the natives, which is interesting. There's a lot of piled up weeds, because if you pile them in one spot, that's better than having the weeds spread all over the place, and that seems to work. The thing that I don't understand is that bicycles should not be ridden through the wildlife reserve. But there's always bicycles being ridden through the wildlife reserve, and it's by people with backpacks on. And I'm pretty sure that all those people are drug couriers. Okay, now this is just my impression. But it seems to me that since it's not appropriate to ride a bicycle through the wildlife reserve, why doesn't some police entity, just get in there and stop the people that are riding bicycles and ask to look through their backpack. Because it just doesn't seem to be right.
It makes too much sense.
Well, I'm not gonna argue. We have been documenting bad behavior in the basin, and we're having real issues with e-bikes and e-motorcycles in there.
So this morning we got there, there's one car parked along inside there, there's another car parked underneath the big cork oak tree.
Yeah.
We get in there and we're waiting on the other side, and guy waves us from the other side where he's got his motorcycle brought all the way in, and he's fishing. Hey, fish, hey, you know, it's like it's okay. People were walking at least with their dogs on leash, but so many people just walk their dogs on leash, and that affects the wildlife. They don't think so, but you know, you can't talk to them. So okay, that's enough.
Anyhow, we're reporting it, we're working on it. We don't have.
Then, last thing, whenever there's a little nook or a cranny, those are the places where people go to the bathroom. So you're constantly having to pick up the little pieces of white tissue that after a good rain, it's not a problem, but still, it's just so much, because we're in there trying to get the weeds. So we go into all these little places, and that's where all the trash is, because the people are hanging out there and they're so messy, not to mention the fishing line and all that stuff.
Watch where you step.
Yeah, you know, we're highly trained weed and trash picker uppers.
Okay.
They don't have the common decency to take it with them with.
Yeah, you would think.
Seriously? Okay, on to Fuller. Ryan, do you have an update?
Yeah, since we last met 2 months ago, we're knocking it out of the park with, we had 4 events. With different groups of volunteers, a couple of private groups, and then 2 public events. Where we had 272 volunteers show up, moving 5,850 gallons of invasive plants, which was mostly star thistle in the East Field, near that restoration site from about a year and a half ago. And it's looking beautiful. Thanks to Paula and CPS.
And you guys bring out the heavy manpower, women power. So that's the amazing thing for us.
It's always a pleasure. And then to your point, Pat, earlier of seeing the western by Pastoral Creek, that western area. Like I haven't been there in probably 2 months, and it's just looking gorgeous. So yeah, hats off. But that star thistle is nasty.
It's
trying to
wicked.
keep our volunteers as scratch free as possible. Yeah, good news there.
Okay. Narit, do you have any updates from LA Audubon?
Not at this time, thank you.
Okay. Kathy, any updates from NCSA?
Yeah.
Okay. Shelley already updated us.
We do have an oak fair event this weekend at Cricket Ranch in the state park there. So that's from 9 to noon. And that'll be bring our water buffalo out and some watering out there. And then this Saturday, we will have a table at the Orchard Museum, which is wildfire festival that they're having there from 10 to 2, and we will have staff out there with more information about, and you can sign up for your home conditions of evaluations.
Okay, cool. Okay, San Fernando Valley Audubon Society, and Muriel, yell at me if I leave something out. This weekend is my usual Hanson Dam walk, Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, we are tabling at the Valley Gay Pride Festival and by Van Nuys City Hall. And going forward, I know that this Thursday, you may recall we had a few goats a while back. I've been monitoring the area that the goats graze and keeping fairly detailed records on it. I'll be going in there Thursday with one of our new board members, and we're going to take a look, do a little sampling, see what's come back, see what it's looking like. most of that area, that whole parcel is about 80 acres. We grazed about half of it. If we'd gotten the goats in earlier, it probably would have worked better, but just about everything in there now is pretty dead, except the ragweed is thriving.
That's okay.
It's great. The ragweed, telegraph weed, except, yeah, a lot of that. The bastard cabbage is all dried out. There's a little bit of Hirschfeldia that's popped up later, but virtually 90% of what was in at least the wetter part of that was bastard cabbage. It's all dried out now. And I think we need to evaluate, do we want to graze that next year and just reduce the seed load in it? So we'll look at that going forward. And then, of course, the first Sunday is our big Sepulveda Basin bird walk. Muriel, did I leave anything out? She's saying negative.
No.
Okay. Sierra Club Los Angeles chapter. Joe, did you have an update?
No update. I wanted to personally say, I'm sorry for being late. When I get my phone and when I got my foot out of the truck, I realized I was digging. So, I'm sorry for being late.
Okay.
Personally, I also wanted to say, when I was doing a ride this weekend, I noticed the grass is cut along Woodley. And is the park representative on the call still, or are they here present? But
Yes, I can find it.
I noticed the grass along Woodley in Burbank was cut really short, and it looks really good to cut down the fire risk.
Yeah.
But I also noticed that also potentially might also increase the opportunity for people to be welcome to park on that spot. That might be invite people to park along in that grass, in that vacant spot. So it looks good for the kind of fire risk, but I certainly hope people aren't take that as an invitation to park.
Well, they could easily be ticketed because you're not supposed to park
You're
there.
not supposed to park there.
Yeah.
But it looks good. But there's the grass is cut, the weeds are cut down.
Yeah.
But there still needs to be a trash picking yard. Trash picking yard. But it does look good. But now that just exposes a lot of trash in after it as well. But
Okay.
yeah, no report from the sheriff on my part.
Okay.
Thank you.
Joshua, are you still on with us? There he is.
Yeah, I'm still on.
Was Rec and Parks responsible for doing all the weed clearance and the tree trimming along Woodley and along Burbank, or is that LACC or
So
do
I believe some of it belongs to street services, but this
Okay.
year it was submitted as a brush clearance package, so it was
Okay.
contracted out.
Okay, because it looks good. They did a nice job pruning and everything.
Kind of moonscape.
Yeah, a little moonscape, but you know what? It'll not be a moonscape for long.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So moving along, we're up to any last comments from Sierra Club San Fernando Valley, Terry? And we've got
for our recent programs, because you probably know more than I do about that since you scheduled them.
We did have a program recently, which is now up on Sierra Club YouTube site, about the important role that sound plays have in the lives of our migrating birds, also just in general health of wildlife in general. And we are going to be doing some more programs in the next few months, probably, I guess it's going to be in September and October, and we will have more presentations on the importance of public lands, which of course is a big issue right now with our administration's attitudes towards what we informally regarded as a protected jewel, they now see as something to be monetized. And so we thought it would be good to bring speakers that would make it more attractive. For people to use the BLM lands and other public lands. So those authors will be speaking in September and October. And that's all we got. That's all we got.
Thank you very much. Do we have any committee member comments on items not on the agenda? Muriel, yes.
Okay, I was wondering, I have seen that an additional story or two is being added over the Tillman plant. And I was wondering if there will be any ramifications on access to the wildlife reserve and so forth. We really haven't had any report on what's going on there.
Wait, are you talking about the treatment plant?
Yes.
Yeah, Marie probably.
Construction is well underway. It will not affect the wildlife reserve. The construction area is contained and will stay the same as it has been for the past year. They've got a crew of about 250 people there 24/7 and aiming to finish by this fall. So yeah, so far, no impacts to access or anything like that. If you're interested in an update on the project, I'd be happy to arrange for one of the DWP staff who spoke with us before to come back. I'm in touch with the staff about the educational facility that's planned to see if it might be possible to have some reference to the wildlife area, since the water that was produced at the plant does feed the LA River and also the wildlife reserve, Lake Balboa, etc. The main focus of the education, I think, is on our water systems and water recycling, but also if there can be a way to tie it in to the surrounding kind of biodiversity piece. But yeah, that's the situation. So construction is quite significantly underway and targeting completion. I'm sorry, I don't think I meant to say the end year. I believe fall 2027, but again, same area.
Okay.
You'd have to work 36 hours a day to get it.
Yeah. Okay. Glenn?
Not on the agenda, it's actually a suggestion that our next meeting agenda include a specific item on the charter reform, including the council file number, the link, because city council has to take final action by July 1st.
Right.
So the dust will have settled by the time of our July meeting, and we'll know, specifically, is this multiple items, which other items might be included,
right,
et cetera. Are there any others that relate to our subject matter purview? And
hopefully we'll know what's heading for the ballot. I've been actually going on the council file continuously, and they have not updated for anything. They didn't even have it updated for Rodriguez's amendment to double the thing over 10 years. So anyhow, I'll definitely have that on next time, and we should have hopefully clarity about what's happening.
You'll have the city attorney will come back.
Right.
The vote will have been taken. It's, it's going to be what's on the ballot.
Right. So we will know that next time, and then we need to promote it.
I have a question for the group. Did anyone download the agenda from the website or from the link? Did anyone do that?
No, just from passing them. But it's helpful to have here.
Okay, I tried it and I only got the first page. Did anybody else have that problem?
First page once in a while, but after refreshing or reopening, I'll get all. But this is.
Okay.
It may be, it's on a Google Drive. It may be glitchy. I don't know.
I just was curious because I only got the first page, so.
Okay.
We do test it.
I'll do that.
Now.
Refresh it.
Okay, so if that's it, I think the meeting will be duly adjourned at oh, Ari, yeah.
So sorry, technically I am a member of the public and not part of the official amazing, but I was late because the bus missed me. So I am, first off, I'm Ari, hi. I work with the CNPS, I've been working with the CNPS for, about 3 years now, volunteering, leading, almost every Saturday religiously for the past year. I work with the San Fernando Audubon Society, I'm currently a director at large, maybe added, yay. I've been working with Paula as well for the past, yeah. And I've also been semi-directly working with Polar, for the past year as well. I have been going to the Basin all my life, with my father, and we have been noticing, you know, the ups and downs because of fires, because of people coming in with fishing lines, because people throwing away their trash. And then recently with the huge uptick in e-bikes and dirt bikes. And I just have a suggestion that, you know, if you guys have thought of it before, let me know and cut me off. But there is something called the NVU unit. It stands for Mountain Bike Unit. Bear with me. They work with the MRCA. They work with national parks. They work with state parks. And my dad is a volunteer with the NVU unit. They do mountain bike patrols, but they also do hiking patrols. And I was wondering if you guys would be willing. I could, since I have a connection to my father, bring it up with some concerning members there, figure out who I should talk to here, to connect you guys, that maybe we could ask if the wildlife reserve would be another place for them to go. Because they would be volunteers, so it'd be free. Their benefit would be that they would get hours volunteering, because they, in order to stay in the unit, need to reach a minimum amount of hours every year. That would be eyes on the ground more often than we already have. They would be trained on what policies you need to follow in certain locations. So if they get a cursory sort of introduction of like, oh, it's Sepulveda Basin, we're not allowed to have bikes, we're not allowed to have fishing, etc., then they would know, and they would be able to then talk to any visitors. It would be less of an enforcement and more of an educational stance. And then if anybody were to be like, oh, I don't care, and walk off, then they would have the ability to then call the proper people, either Fish and Wildlife, National Park Service, cops, fire department. So yeah, that is my proposal, and if you guys are interested, I can. Yeah.
And would you send me the information on it?
Yes, I will get some more information from my dad, but for sure, if you look up mountainbikeunit.com, all the words spelled out, mountainbikeunit.com, it'll give you just sort of a cursory thing, and then I'll, from my dad, get the right people to connect with you, Pat. And then if anybody else would like to be added, just let me know and I'll get your email from Pat.
The only thing is, it does look like the volunteers themselves are on bicycle.
Like I mentioned, they do mountain bikes, but they also do hike patrols. They just don't advertise.
Yeah.
Advertise the hike patrols, but the volunteers themselves know that there are hike patrols. And there are definitely older people that volunteer that would prefer to have more flat trail to patrol as well.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really excellent, and I think we desperately need more education, and having people patrol in official looking shirts would really help to start to shift the culture, so.
I think it would be great. You know, we've just got a huge, very, very sad gap in enforcement in there. The fish and wildlife regs aren't being enforced at all. And you know, it honestly is, it really is violating so many things, you know, that shouldn't be happening in that area that is happening. And so, yeah, why don't you get me the information? I will probably have something regarding that on the next agenda then. Okay.
So speaking not as LA Audubon, but as Commissioner Crowley, DWP, I just wanted to even better correct the record because I'm tired and it's a long day. So completion date for construction for the groundwater replenishment project is targeting December 2027. But as I mentioned, the construction area is already kind of fenced off and contained. You'll see it when you drive by Wildlife Way there near the wildlife area. That's where the little security guard station and everything is. So the construction is behind that. But now in a different hat, speaking as the co-director for the LA Raptor study, I do want to share that we had a nesting pair of red-tailed hawks quite close to the construction site, but they are quite urban adapted, being in a noisy park already, and they did successfully fledge their young this year despite the construction. So far there does not seem to be, significant wildlife or bird impacts from this construction, since it's already such a noisy park, and these birds are quite adapted to that. So yeah, happy to arrange for an update at a future meeting if helpful, but currently no plans that would in any way impact access to.
All right. Going. Thank you.
Thank you.